Anyways, I was 19, living at my Uncle Bill's. A few weeks before my 19th birthday, I'd be I'd get into an altercation with one of the hookers that was hanging around, and it was over a fucking cigarette. She's like, I was fiending for cigarettes and shit, and I was coming up short on rent, and Uncle Bill wasn't giving me no cigarettes, and one of the girls, Alicia, she, not that Alicia I used to mess around with, but like Alicia and one of the Levi and Larry's girls, they, she's like, I'll give you a short on this Newport, and I didn't smoke menthols, and I was like, I'll never ever take a cigarette from your fucking dick sucking lips. And I guess this really fucking pissed her off. So like, old boy came in the other day, later on that day, with a hammer. Pow, pow, pow. He's gonna break my jaw with a hammer. Yeah, real shit. Basically, my Uncle Bill answered the door. It was me and my brother and shit, and we were all drunk and shit. And it was one of those days I actually had like rent and a little bit of payback and shit. So my Uncle Bill's cool and shit. Anyways, I I didn't know the danger that was in front of me, and he's like, "Hey, you ain't gonna do no fucking thing to my nephew. Fuck you." And I didn't realize what my Uncle Bill was saying because I was already drunk as shit. And my Uncle Bill basically he's like, "Yeah, but I don't know. Larry did some weird fucking kung fu, and he got let in." He's like, and Larry sat right next to me. He was fucking pissed. But as I said, I'm not scared. I had a fear of him, but I ain't scared. And he's like, for what you said to my girl, I should fucking break your goddamn jaw with this hammer. I was like, and I knew who was sitting around me, and I basically was like, I basically could tough guy my way out of this situation too. I was like, yeah, but you won't. And he's like, well, I just need an apology. I'm like, I'm not going to give you an apology because I never accepted anything from her. She offered it, but I said, fuck that. I let my feelings be known. He's fucking pissed. But he knew. He knew he'd be a dead man. This ain't prison. This is real life. And my uncle was pretty much done with this shit too. You're threatening his fucking nephews right in front of him. His nephews that are just new adults, and this is really the last era of protection I was ever going to get from my Uncle Bill. And he was like, yeah, Larry, you ain't going to do shit. And he's like, why is that? He's like, because if you touch my fucking nephews, I'm going to touch you, then my nephews are going to touch you, and you're never ever going to walk out of here alive. He's like, because I'm going to kill you. He's like, I've already been in prison before, just like you. He's like, and he's like, money's tough and rough right now, and he's like, I basically told him prison would be a much more comfortable life, and this is a ex-felon dealing with the ex-felon. And Larry knew not to fuck with my Uncle Bill like that, because my Uncle Bill stabbed his own fucking dad. So, there that was. Anyways, Larry fucking threw a fake ass punch to my face, and I didn't even flinch. I just looked at him dead in the eyes, and no matter how drunk I was, I realized how lucky I was at that moment to be around my Uncle Bill. So, I would turn 19, I'd get blackout drunk, puke everywhere, get naked, have to take a shower and shit like that. So my Uncle's Bill's place. My two second cousins are coming around. I don't know, they're Richie's kids. It's been so long, can't remember their names. But they should be in their late 20s by now. They were coming around a lot more, and I was sleeping in their room and shit like that. And when they were there, I couldn't sleep in their room. After that whole altercation with Larry that night, I would find myself being locked out of the apartment more and more and more. I already seen some crazy shit at that place, and I already knew what I was being set up for. Those apartments behind Iowa Machine Shed are not good apartments, bro. That's the hood. That's projects. I already had previous experiences in that fucking place. Mainly, the big one before that was the biggest one was when I stole all that money from my dad, and that was the only place that we can shack up. Anyways, I found myself being locked out, sleeping outside the door, just to be, to fall through the door because somebody opened it. They're like, oh, we didn't even know that you were here, type of thing. I knew what was up. I knew my days were numbered. Uncle Bill got drunk as fuck one night and he kicked me out. It's like February is like a few days after my birthday. Anyways, he got into a big old argument. He wanted to fight and shit like that. And I was like, hey, I ain't gonna fight you. You'll destroy me. I'm like, I'll just fucking leave. So that night, it was like early March. Got the fuck out of there. It was still cold as fuck. It was still winter. And I didn't know where to go. So I parked on the street from my dad's house. Thank God Eldridge Police checked on me. It was the same officer that busted me in the bushes getting head, and he was like, he checked on me in the morning, make sure I was still alive. I was cool as fuck. I went over to Eli's house, and I begged Eli's parents for me to stay. At that time, they said no. I only had one other place I can go, man. That was my cousin Sarah. I used to hang out a little bit. Not a lot of it, but a little bit. She was with this guy named Randy. They'd have a baby, Ariana. Ariana's probably like 2. And 1, 2, yeah, 1, 2, yeah. And Sarah let me stay. I got a job. I stopped working at Labor Ready. I got a job and saved up a little bit of money. I was paying Sarah rent and shit like that. Even though she said like you don't need to. I was still kicking out. She was one of the people that actually saved me. Yeah. That was that time in a nutshell, bro.